Is this campaign over?
No way.
No,
No way.
it's not over.
Well, there are quite a few states that are coming down to vote, as you pointed out. Next Tuesday is going to be another several states. We've got most of the Northeast that's still voting. California's a big one. While we were at the Democracy Awakening on Sunday, we encountered a colleague of Dave's. He didn't realize he was a colleague who from California, who was active in the Bernie support, and had an interesting exchange over about an hour's period of time that there's apparently very strong support for Bernie in California. Now, whether the party establishment in California and the LA interests in Hollywood will overwhelm what the grassroots apparently are saying in California, we'll find out.
Why do you think Bernie has been able to appeal to millennials more so? He's the oldest candidate running, yet he has attracted the youth vote. What is it about him that appeals to young people, do you feel?
I feel that he, obviously a person who has managed to stay in politics as long as he has been, knows his base. He knows what his values are, and he doesn't shift to make it. People are looking for someone who really has a product, wants to sell it, and sells it very well, I think.
It's the product, Dave.
Yes,
It's the
the
product
product.
more than the consistency is important, but
Oh,
the
true.
product is what
True.
the country needs. We've
And
had
then,
significant collapse in our economic system, in that we have now significant dislocation and in the share of the wealth that this country produces. Income inequality is beyond gross. My background includes social economic history of the United States in the late 19th and early 20th century, when we had the same kind of distortion that got significant and took the labor movement and a threat of communism to bring the wealth and the elite of the country to the recognition that there needs to be equity shared in the community and abroad. The kids that are coming along now, probably many of them had parents who lost their homes, who lost their retirement, who are struggling with student debt that is beyond anything we would have imagined when we were students. They're aware that something's not right.
I don't consider myself much of a political animal, but I said I've got to do something.
Do you folks consider yourself Democrats?
Probably.
Yes.
Did you vote for Hillary Clinton at all while she was senator for New York?
Yeah, I did.
I did not.
You didn't? Who did you vote for? No secrets in our household.
It wasn't Hillary. Hillary bothers me.
What made you vote for her then and not now?
Well, I don't remember who the Republican candidate was on the other side. And she also had the endorsement of Senator Moynihan. And we had great respect for his thinking, generally, in his political career.
If Hillary does go on to be the nominee for the Democrats, will you vote for her in November?
I won't vote for the Republican.
Is there anything that she can do in the next coming months to make you to get your vote?
I doubt it. And she probably would, unfortunately, lose more votes if she came over to our way of thinking.
I'm not sure of that. I don't think so. But I don't know if she'd come over.
I don't know. I would
changes
be
her thinking.
surprised if she would be that much of a changeling.
But where would she stay? That's the question. Where
Yeah.
would she stay?
I feel like Bernie has fundamentally changed the Democratic Party. Do you think there's a shift in mindset as to kind of moving farther to the left, and has the Democratic base now seen a kind of a tectonic shift in as far as liberal policies and what they're hoping to see out of their candidates?
Well, I think what we can look back in history and see what happened in the here in this country as a result of the Vietnam War, the loss by Johnson of his dignity and pride, going into Nixon, we moved into some the youth coming along then made big changes, and we've got the changes in something as outstanding, I guess, in many ways, is same-sex marriage. Who would have thought we'd have had same-sex marriage, let alone just basic and acceptance of people who are not us, whether it's color or whether it's sexual orientation or whether it's religion.
Now you can. It used to be when you said socialism, you had to say it in your own closed room, and now you can say, "Hey, take a look at it."
That's what public education is. That's what public health that you have as a veteran.
Yes.
That's what we both have as Medicaid.
I would
Social.
applaud the government, the system that I have that's been taking care of me as I'm starting to wear out in certain areas, and it's.
And it needs to be there
It's
for
there.
everybody,
It
not
should be
just
there
for
for
us. We're
everyone.
not privileged people, or we shouldn't be. We are privileged, but we shouldn't.
You know,